Hello and welcome to Deep Thoughts, Shallow Plots. My name's Erika, and I really like to watch horror movies.
My name is Katy, and I really like to overanalyze things.
Katy, what are we overanalyzing today?
A little film called Violent Night.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty recent film, yeah?
Yeah, 2022. So this is not to be confused with, as I was doing some research on different Christmas horror movies.
Yeah.
There is kind of one of the main classics, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh, that's good.
Then there's another Christmas horror movie called Silent Night. Mm-hmm. There's actually
a lot to do, a lot to play with in this space.
There's actually, I think, 2 or 3 Christmas horror movies called Silent Night with different ideas.
Silent.
And then now this one's Violent Night. Mm-hmm. So
you see what they did there. They rhymed.
You see what. Yes, exactly. You see what they did there. So just so we're very clear, this one's Violent Night from 2022. David Harbour is playing Santa Claus. Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will say about this movie is that it was very enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. Very fun, very campy, very schlocky violence, great joy. Didn't really stay with me. I didn't find myself thinking about it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some movies kind of stay with you for good or bad, you know, where you're just sort of like, what? Like, you know.
Like Saw.
Saw stayed with me.
In a bad way.
Yeah. Killer Clown stayed with me in an interesting way. Couldn't say if it was good or bad.
Nope, stayed with you in a good way.
Yeah. This film, I was just sort of like, I watched it and then I moved on with my life, you know, until I sat down to do notes and I was like, oh yes, this movie existed.
I have a thought about that. I wonder if it's because this is a Christmas movie.
Well, yeah.
And Christmas movies, I don't know, they're formulaic sometimes.
Yeah. And this is actually something we talked about. You know, this episode will be in conversation with our previous December's episodes.
That's true, yeah.
Krampus and Black Christmas.
Less Black Christmas, but
though
also
in our Black Christmas episode, we do talk about like the connection of like, why are there horror Christmas movies?
Why is Christmas scary?
That seems weird, you know? And one of the things we talk about is just that like Christmas is a time where like your senses are being pulled on in so many different directions. Like there's so much going on. There's so much light and color and food and noise that like the kind of movies you want this time of year are the ones that are like background popcorn movies.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that are just kind of junk food movies. That are just sort of like, you can consume them easily, and if you walk out of the room for a while and come back, you still kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't need to pay attention.
Yeah, which isn't to say this is a bad movie. As I said, it was very fun.
I like this movie a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see what deep thoughts we can pull from it, I guess, is what I mean.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, the other Christmas movies that we've done, we've covered on the pod.
Yeah.
And I felt this way about, or what I remember, because I just re-listened to a Krampus episode.
Yes. Krampus.
Yeah, you sing a lot in that episode.
It's Christmas. Everybody sings at Christmas.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Everyone was singing along, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Everyone listening at home.
Myriad of listeners. What was I saying?
You were listening to that episode.
I was listening to that episode, and we were talking about how neither of those films, those other films that we've covered, technically necessarily need to take place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Like we kind of have like so Black Christmas is, you know, a slasher, proto-slasher, whatever.
Yes. The only reason it's Christmas is sort of like so that it's less.
That's the reason why those women are isolated.
Yes, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah.
But there could be many reasons why those women could be isolated.
It could have been a Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, or
a spring break.
Yeah. And then kind of similar with Krampus, less so though, is that like, you know, their family can come visit for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
Like, again, it could be a summer vacation, you know?
And as I pointed out during that episode, Krampusnacht isn't even on Christmas Eve.
It's on the 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then St. Nicholas's feast day is
the day
6th.
after, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So, but like, I think at the heart of this movie is a family drama.
Yeah.
Again, what we mentioned already, again, go back and listen to the Krampus episode, is that Christmas is an amazing excuse to have a large gathering of people who maybe don't like each other that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we touched on that in Black Christmas, too.
Yeah.
That's another reason why Christmas is also really used a lot in like detective and murder mystery stories, because it's like, well, here's a big party with a bunch of people who have a lot of tensions. And
I actually...
emotions are high.
Yeah, emotions are high. It's a dramatic time of year. Everybody's got seasonal affective disorder.
Yes. Everybody's fucking worn out.
Everybody's worn out. The sun sets at 4.
Yeah.
Like,
there's just,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
So, which is why we have these holidays, because winter in general is a lot. But then sometimes the holidays themselves are a lot.
Yes, exactly. So it's a great excuse to get a bunch of people together that maybe don't necessarily like each other.
As we see in this movie.
Yeah. So at the heart of this movie, we have a family drama. But also what's happening in this movie, again, before Santa even shows up, is we have a home invasion story.
Yes.
Right? Which, again, could happen anytime.
Yeah.
But it works thematically with what's happening in this movie for it to be taking place at Christmas. And then, of course, it has to be taking place at Christmas because our protagonist or anti-hero, whatever you want to call him, is the actual Santa.
The actual Santa Claus.
The guy.
Yeah. Just ask Trudy. She speaks to him.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
besties. We did not watch. Did you go back and watch? There's a mid-credits scene on this movie of the God, what's his name? The punk ass kid.
Bertrude.
Yes, Bertrude. I was like, what is his dumbass name? Bertrude. There's the mid-credits scene of Bert. Because he's a streamer.
Yeah,
he's an influencer of him. Next to some dead bodies being like, by the way, guys, Santa is real. You do not want to be on his naughty list.
I have seen that, yes.
It's really cute, yeah.
But so that's like actually what this movie's about.
Yes.
And it just
and then Santa is there.
Helps that it's taking place at Christmas time.
Also, I want to backpedal just kind of a little bit, talking about how light is so important.
Always.
One detail that I loved in this movie, that's a very small detail, is that Rudolph is like retired. It's mentioned just sort of offhand that Rudolph is retired.
Yeah.
And it just really kind of stuck to me that like, yeah, you kind of don't need a bright red nose with the amount of light we have in our world now.
Yeah.
That like, that's another thing that has sort of changed since, Santa's good old days.
Yeah. Well,
that like Rudolph isn't really necessary because of the light pollution.
Yeah. And then we do get a little bit of a mention. Of course, we're going to dive deep into the Santa lore.
Oh God,
of course.
so deep.
But in that Santa lore, we do get a mention. Santa mentions that he's been with Mrs. Claus for 1,100 years.
Yes.
So he's been Santa-ing for centuries.
Yes.
Right?
Do the math on that. Oh, that would put him later than I thought.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. Santa, I don't think you're right. I think you underestimated. Right? Because 1,100 years from 2022 would put him in 1,100.
Yeah.
It's
why
rough.
not?
Because it's the end of the Viking Age ended in like 1044-ish.
Oh, it's just a little late.
Yeah. But maybe that's when he became Santa, was after, maybe he was there at the end of the Viking Age.
Because again, that's just when he met his wife.
That's
true. Or how long he's been
with
his wife.
He might have met his wife after becoming Santa.
Yeah. People contain multitudes, right? They have careers, relationships.
Yeah.
They got a lot
And I
going
do
on.
have more to say about his Viking Age stuff. So
I can't wait.
We will circle back around on that.
Anyway, so he's old, right? And,
yes,
but
he's been around.
As far as we know, then Rudolph would age and retire.
Though the other ones haven't.
I guess not.
I guess Rudolph was doing most of the work for so long. Maybe he got worn down.
He burnt out.
I don't know. Is it like that with random comparison?
Yeah.
Huskies and stuff doing dog sledding.
You're asking the wrong person. I'm
I
sorry,
wonder if the lead
know.
dog, if they get
Gets
more
tired.
wearing out. Yeah, if they get tired quicker than the other dogs, the follower dogs. I don't know.
Food for thought. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, so this doesn't really need to be a Christmas movie, but it is because it's Santa.
And then with the home invasion aspect, then we can really lean into make it Christmas themed home invasion
with all of
the cute little nicknames,
and the Christmas lights being used as weapons, and all of these things, and guys impaled with icicles.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. You're right, yes, but I was thinking just about the group that's pulling off this heist. They all have cute little nicknames. Yeah, gingerbread, mistletoe.
Krampus. There is a Krampus.
There is a Krampus. And then John Leguizamo's character, Mr. Scrooge.
Yes.
And so,
they did
and then
want
they're
it to
taking
be Mr. Grinch, but they couldn't get that.
They couldn't clear it, I'm sure.
Which would have been actually more thematically funny.
Actually, I had that thought. I was just
he's more
he's
of a Grinch.
Really more of a Grinch.
He's not much of a Scrooge.
But
he wants money.
No, he's actually Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense that there was some copyright stuff. That makes sense.
Scrooge is probably public domain by now. I would think so.
Yeah. Anyway.
The Muppets can do it. Like, come on.
Gosh, should we talk about this family? What else do you want to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once again, we're talking about rich people.
Yes.
We get, I guess that's sort of a stock of home invasion movies. You need to have a reason for people to invade.
Something worth getting. Yeah. And they do. They have, what was it, like $300
million?
$300 million?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so much money. Yeah.
That's unfathomable.
In just like bills.
Just in her safe that she has on her quote unquote family compound.
Yeah.
Which is what the place is referred to as, a family compound.
Which it is because it's gated, right?
Yes.
So we meet, what's his name? Al?
Yeah, the gate guy, yeah.
Who doesn't want to work on Christmas Eve.
He didn't want to work on Christmas Eve.
Me neither, buddy.
He didn't want to and he shouldn't have had to.
So yeah, it is like sort of a palatial estate.
Yes.
A compound is a great word for it. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
And then they have like way too much food and drink, considering that it's not even a party. It's like a family gathering.
It's a family gathering. So let's just list them off here. So we've already mentioned Trudy. Trudy is kind of our main character, little kid who has to help Santa rediscover
the meaning
Christmas
of Christmas.
Spirit.
Yeah. Christmas magic.
And so her dad is a member of this family.
Yes.
I don't remember his name. To me, he's just the dude who plays Translucent in The Boys. I'm really sorry. Alex Hassel. Is that his name?
I'm going to be real with you. Like I said, this movie did not stick with me. I don't think I caught any of their names besides for Trudy and Gertrude.
And Gertrude. And Bertrude, obviously.
Bertrude, and obviously Bertrude.
Yeah, so I think Alex Hassel is Jason. Jason Lightstone.
Lightstone, right, because the light.
Yeah.
The light is thematic.
Yes.
Lightstone.
And the stone, it's so constant and steady. Anyway.
Yeah. Yes, he is in the family. He's Trudy's dad.
He seems to be the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
There's two
I think he's,
of the matriarch who is Gertrude Lightstone.
Yes.
And just super quick, what's their money in?
I don't know, because she got her money from her dad.
Right, it's all generational.
So it's generational.
Yeah.
I feel like the only dealings we really know they're involved in is like the thing we know the money that she has stolen is that she was given money to be a go-between between the U.S. government.
Contract with the U.S. government.
And basically funneling money into the Middle East
to
make access to oil easier.
Yeah.
Which is oof. So, I assume she's involved in all sorts of great things like that.
Yeah, I wonder if she's...
Weapons.
What do they call it? Like
she's a lobbyist, maybe. Just funding that kind of thing.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Like rockets. Or like that's sort of like not rocket science. That kind of thing that like could be for space travel or warfare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry, I can't really think of the right word for it. But yeah, it's something related to something important to national defense. Yeah. Sounds like it. So they've got a lot of money.
That was her vibe.
And Dad, Papa Lightstone, is nowhere to be found.
No, we don't know.
I think did they mention that he died?
I don't even remember him.
I'm sure that he's since passed away.
Yeah, she only mentions her own dad.
And then there's...
Because she sort of strong-armed him out of the business so she could become the head.
Yeah, I love it.
And then Jason has his ex-wife, or they're at least separated.
Yeah, estranged wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Linda, I think.
Linda, yes.
Linda. She's, of course, she's the outsider who's, not actually a part of this family. We actually have two outsiders who are not a part of this family.
Yeah.
And Linda, who's like, you rich people are crazy.
Which is also kind of funny, because she's also like, she has a lawyer, or she has her own wealthy career where she has her own money, but she probably not this level.
She doesn't have probably generational wealth.
Yeah.
But then we also have, because there's another character,
Jason's sister.
Oh, Edie Patterson. But that's the actress's name. But her name is Alva. Remember Alva?
Yes,
I'm like,
Alva.
that's an interesting name. Yes. Anyway, and then Alva has a son named Bertrude, which is a gross try to rip off of naming him Gertrude, but he was a boy, so it's Bertrude. And then
I don't hate it.
She has her, I don't know what to call him, boyfriend,
her lover,
Morgan Steele.
Yes.
who is also not actually a part of the family, but unlike Linda, is stoked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wants to.
Yeah, because he sees this as a way to get his movies funded.
Yeah,
His
an
dumb
investment
movies.
opportunity.
Yeah, Linda gets accused of being a gold digger when she's like, I have my own money.
Yeah.
And then this guy is over here like, give me money?
Yeah. He's actually the gold digger. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay because he dies.
He does die.
Yep.
He does die.
A lot of people die in this movie.
It has a high death count.
But no one actually in the family.
No, not a one. You would think maybe Gertrude.
Well, because it's still a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a happy ending.
But we have like a lot of, we definitely get, because, we get the people who are involved in creating the home invasion, right? All of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't make it.
Do any of them make it?
I don't know. Maybe not. So that's all of them.
I think so.
And then Morgan Steele doesn't make it. R.I.P.
And then the guys who come in who are like the kill squad that the family
weird
hires.
Paramilitary squad that this family has access to because they're that rich.
And who stand out to me for, sexualizing violence, which isn't so unusual. Mm-hmm. But then the way they talk about it, they're like, we're going to go in how I like to have sex. Hard and fast and bad.
Yeah.
Just the way he said it, I was like, I don't remember exactly what he said, where I was like, why are you having sex like that?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you about anything again.
Yes.
Yeah. Who cares?
Why are you sexualizing this, and why is your sex so bad?
Yeah.
Yes, but they turn on the family.
Yes.
A lot of them, I think, end up dying too.
Oh, yeah. Ton of them, yeah.
Though I don't know. I lost track of them all, so I don't know if they all die.
Many of the
staff.
Innocent staff.
That's the part that fucking kills me,
Yeah.
and the part that annoys me about this rich witch family.
Yeah.
Like, we literally get to know that guard like you were talking about, who's like, the first thing we learn about him is that it's like, well, I wanted Christmas Eve off, but what can
I'm
you
here.
do?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, so then he's here to get fucking killed when Grandma Gertrude should have just let them have the day off and then he'd still be alive. But like, she does not know how to exist without staff serving her.
Right. So this is what I was thinking about, just the family in general, and also absolutely, of course, Gertrude Lightstone.
Yeah.
Because also I think she thinks that like that's not her job, right?
Yeah.
But this family is like deeply incompetent.
Yes.
Due to their generational wealth.
Yeah, they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, they're greedy, they're rude. Like, a lot of them are, like, aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, Alva's very aggressive.
Well, and then Gertrude also, the part that really kind of stood out to me is that she has a safe room in her house, of course.
Yes, of course.
But apparently she made it so small that only she can be in it.
Only
she, like,
two people can fit.
She, like, didn't let her daughter and grandson in with her.
So her and one other person.
You have this huge house. Why did you make your safe room so small? Like, what? Because she only cares about herself.
Yeah.
Even in her family, she only cares about herself.
Yeah. So these, pretty much almost everybody in this family, except of course for Judy, and Linda, because she's not actually a member of this family, are like, they're prime candidates for the naughty list.
They really are.
If you ask me,
They really are.
And it is interesting how, like, I think it is their generational wealth that has just like completely broken down their family unit.
Yeah. It's such an insane amount of wealth.
Yeah. Everyone in, like, including the characters in this movie that we're kind of supposed to be rooting for,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Jason. Yeah, like they keep fighting with each other. They're still fighting over this resource for this insane amount of money.
Yeah. That's the thing that got me about Jason's plan to, like, because he wants to break away from his family. He's like, yeah, my family's crazy.
Yeah.
He has that line in the beginning.
It's toxic. Mom has too much control over us.
Linda, when they first walk into the house, she's like, I still can't get over that you grew up like this. Mm-hmm. And Jason's like, yeah, my therapist says that about me.
It says
like,
I won't either.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
That is really good. But no, that his plan to get away from his family isn't just to go, okay, I'll go like live with Linda and my daughter, and they have Linda has money, so that's fine, to get started, and then I'll get a job. I think he works for whatever this company is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to. He could go get another job. But his plan is to steal all the money.
Yes.
This unknown $300 million that nobody knows about. and run away with $300 million.
Yeah.
That's like his normal, I'm going to get away from this crazy family plan.
That's the plan. Yeah.
And it's like, you're just going to make another crazy, that's still being in the crazy family. If you're taking $300 million, dude.
You're still doing your crazy family stuff.
Yeah. That's textbook crazy family.
And it's funny because,
so
of course, he does not run this by his estranged wife, who, they do seem to be struggling, however, not like divorced.
Yeah, they're still kind of.
And I'm like, and it really seems like Jason wants the relationship to work.
Yeah, and it does seem recent because this is the only year where he forgot to take his daughter to the mall on Christmas to talk to Santa, you know? So, like, it seems fresh and new.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't talk to her about it. He just kind of springs it on her.
Just does it, yeah. But he is, of course, like, I just want to live my life with Linda and my daughter. And it's like, but you're not
$300 million.
But you're not actually like including Linda and your daughter in your life.
Plan. Yeah.
So what are we doing, buddy? It's because he grew up too rich.
Yeah. And his therapist is right, and he'll never get over it.
So and then of course it's perfect for like, again, doesn't have to be Christmas, but just works really well in Christmas, so that we have like a perfect like greed and consumerism message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that we kind of see at the end that Jason has changed.
Yes.
Where, for whatever reason, Santa's too cold.
Scrooge.
Santa's too cold. He is the Scrooge.
I just had that thought. We don't have.
But no, you're right, because he changes about his view.
Because
like,
then he takes the money, right?
Yeah, but then at the end he's like, oh yeah, we don't need this money. Let's burn this money to create heat
for Santa to live.
Because Santa needs to be warm to live.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so he's changed. He's burning the money. Yay. But then they say that he burned $500,000.
Yeah, that's not
out
very
of
much.
300
million. Yeah, that's not very much.
So I'm like, how much did you? I mean, great. That's a great for anybody else, $500,000 would be a huge sacrifice.
Yep.
For the Lightstone family, $500,000.
Yeah.
Is nothing.
It's not actually that
Yeah,
much.
no wonder he didn't think about burning it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not sure how much he's actually changed, but
yeah.
But he at least is bringing Linda in more on his plan.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Jason, of course, isn't the only one where we see this sort of like greed and consumerism. And it's a big deal of why like Santa is so jaded at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, he's so down on himself. He's having a bad day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he says something about how all the kids are too greedy now. He calls them junkies for the next present.
Yeah.
Like they just want. They don't believe.
Yes. It's very much the opening of this film where we meet Santa and we don't yet know that he is
could just be
the
like
Santa.
a mall Santa.
Yeah.
Because he's talking to another mall Santa.
In a pub somewhere in England.
Yeah.
It's a very kids these days.
It is. All they want is money and video games.
Yep.
They
just
don't care about the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You give them one present, they just want the next one. They don't even appreciate it.
Yeah, they don't understand scarcity, you know. It's so much easier to survive the winter now. You know what I mean?
You don't need these holidays to get through the winter. You just want.
Yeah, but it's like a want deprived of any like substance, like moral substance. Like it doesn't actually like contribute to your well-being.
Yeah, they just want for one. Especially all the kids who on their little list for Santa say they just want cash.
Cash, yeah. Or and video games, yeah.
Yeah, but like especially when you're like, I don't know, do you remember being a kid and kind of just wanting cash for the sake of having cash?
Oh yeah.
Like you didn't even have plans for it. It was just like it was cool to have cash.
You can do literally anything with it. It's the whole point of cash.
Yeah. But that's not really like wanting something. You just want like the ability to
also cash isn't a gift.
Yeah.
I guess it could be.
It is. Yeah.
But when you think about a gift, I'm thinking about like I thought of you.
Yeah.
And got
It's very
this.
different than the joy of being like, oh my God, this is the exact bicycle I wanted.
Yeah.
Thanks, Santa.
Yeah.
Then like, okay, here's, $20.
Yeah.
That I'll spend slowly over time on candy and soda.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
It's just, because they just want the opportunity to consume, to be consumers.
Yep.
They don't want the things. They want the process of getting things.
And you also want the social status that comes with having those things.
Yeah.
Like Bertrude. He's like constantly, I'm not going to call him Bert. I will only be referring to him as Bertrude.
That is his full name.
That is his legal government name.
Yes.
Bertrude
Lightstone
is like always live streaming at his grandma's big ass house.
Like, look at what we're doing for
Christmas Eve. He's like unwrapping his presents, right? So it's like it's not about spending time with his family. It's about like the social clout of his grandma having a massive house that he can live stream in and show off to everybody he knows.
That's so
and
true.
People he doesn't know.
That's so true.
But Trudy's different.
But yeah, that's why Trudy stands out so much as being different, because she's upset because she didn't get to talk to Santa this year and tell him what she wanted.
How's he supposed to know?
Yeah. So her dad, kind of sweet move, good dad move, finds an old walkie-talkie and is like, direct line to Santa. Tell him whatever you want, which is very sweet.
That's an amazing.
It was a good idea.
Amazing idea, yeah.
And the first thing she says to Santa isn't like, this is what I want for Christmas. It's cold tonight. Don't forget your mittens.
Yeah,
like,
she's worried about Santa.
She's worried about Santa.
Yeah.
And then she's like, the sort of thing she does want. We know that one Christmas she asked for a friend and she got a stuffed animal bunny that was her best friend. And this year she's like, most of all, I just want, my parents to be like in love again.
Oh gosh.
Like she has
How many kids have wished that though?
I know.
So many Christmases. Anyway. Yeah. And then this time it works out and it's like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Good. Yay. Christmas magic.
Yeah. Anyway, she wants her parents to get back together. That's what she wants for Christmas.
Yes.
Yep.
And okay.
Yep.
She gets it because she knows Santa personally.
Yeah, she does now.
Yeah. She's got Santa privilege.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. And it's such a classic. Like, that's the other type of movie this is that like jaded old worker who thinks this is the last year. He's getting out of here. But then the like precocious young up and comer.
Yeah. Shows him that there still is joy.
There's still something to do here.
Yeah.
Things can turn around.
Love it.
Yeah. And Trudy and Santa do connect on those sort of things where it's like Santa also always clearly loves he loves the homemade cookies the most.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He also likes the actual personal touch, not just the thing.
Yeah.
But the thought behind the thing is like the thing that matters.
Yeah, because we do get to see Santa before we really jump into the main plot. Like, we do get to see him drinking at a pub in England.
And then going to a few different houses.
Oh, yeah, going to a few different houses, looking around, seeing a wide variety of Amazon boxes.
Yes.
Unwrapped, just Amazon boxes
just Amazon
under
boxes.
the tree. I know they're trying to do a dig on Amazon.
Yeah. They have them all upside down, so it looks like they're frowning.
They're frowning, yeah, right.
Classic.
Yep, classic.
A little on the nose.
He gets... he's trying cookies and different various milks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But then he's also I don't think we've actually mentioned, other than the fact that he's in a pub, is that Santa is binge drinking.
Oh, yeah, he's so...
Yeah, he's like shotgunning beers in the sleigh.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the reindeers do most of the driving.
It's true. What does he say? He's like, the reindeer do most of the work. You just have to steer a little.
Yeah.
I think is what he says. Yeah. And then he's also like getting into people's liquor stash.
Yeah.
In people's homes.
Yeah. Just having a good time.
Do you think anyone actually left out alcohol for Santa?
We used to leave out a beer.
Really?
I don't know if other people do.
I'm sure.
But we would leave out, a good Corona because
your dad.
Because my dad was Santa. And that's what my dad wanted.
Your dad wanted. I love it.
Not that we'd ever say that out loud, but yes. We need to leave out a Corona for Santa.
That's so funny.
I don't know.
Santa's an adult. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Oh God, what else? Okay, wait, hold on.
And this isn't, I guess, related to much of anything that we're talking about other than I do just want to shout out the reindeer who I support them leaving Santa behind.
Well,
he's not super nice to them.
He did lose his temper.
He's being very unprofessional. He accuses them of being unprofessional. He's the one being very unprofessional.
Yes.
He was so rude to them when they were perfect angels.
And of course it does, and it just helps with the plot that Santa's methods of
getting away
are gone.
Yeah.
And his magic's not working right now, so he can't always go through the chimney, blah, 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 blah.
And then it turns out the reindeers are actually even more perfect angels than I thought.
Right, because they were helping him out. Yeah.
They were going home to get his hammer.
And his
spare bag.
Because his bag does get destroyed.
Yes, and a little encouraging note from Mrs. Claus.
From Mrs. Claus, yeah. It's great. And then, of course, Santa does, I believe he does apologize.
He does.
He's just I'm sorry. You guys are great. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I shouldn't have lost my temper with you.
Yeah.
perfect angels.
I can't stay
love
mad
those
at you
ones.
guys.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
It's very cute.
What is he? Oh, he calls one of them unprofessional because one of them poops on a roof.
Yeah.
I'm like, reindeers are going to poop, man.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
want a reindeer
Yeah.
to do? This is a bathroom for them.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the people who left out carrots for I forget.
That's always fun,
Yeah.
when someone leaves carrots out for the reindeer. Yeah.
And that is cute.
Would now be a good time to bring up Mr. Scrooge as a character.
Sure.
He does have a real name that we get. His real name is Jimmy.
Yeah, because Santa knows all their names.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He's got the list.
And like
he's written them
what
down.
he's given them
Yeah.
every year, effectively.
Yeah. What's the other guy's name? Oh, Frosty. Frosty's the one
Frosty.
that he got that bicycle for.
Yeah. So his name's Jimmy, John Leguizamo's character. He's Mr. Scrooge because he hates Christmas.
Yes, which is a Grinch thing, not a Scrooge thing.
Which is a Grinch thing, not a Scrooge thing, because the Scrooge he doesn't care about Christmas.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, yeah, whatever.
He's ambivalent.
He's definitely more, like you said, like Jason or even Gertrude Lightstone being like, you don't need Christmas Eve off. Keep working.
Yeah, exactly. So he hates Christmas for reasons that will be revealed later. And so he's done, and he's done a lot of research into this family. Like he really did do a lot of background recon to figure out how to break into this person's
Yeah, he knows all the plans, and he also got to their special kill squad defenders.
Their militia.
Their militia that they have on hire. Yeah, he got to them and got them to turn.
Yeah. So again, it's just not very so Scrooge doesn't care about Christmas, right? And then he gets visited by spirits to care about Christmas.
Yes.
That's not really what's happening. It is more of a Grinch thing.
Yeah.
The Grinch hates Christmas.
And then steals things.
On
Christmas
on
Eve.
Christmas, yeah.
That's literally what this guy's doing.
And so it's sort of like also like anti-capitalist, pro-capitalist, right? So like Scrooge is like pro-capitalist. He's like, we're gonna work and I'm just gonna make money. Yeah, because that's the real God. Let's get real. Yeah, you know. Versus the Grinch, who's like, all you care about is your stuff. I'm gonna take your stuff away. Yeah. So he's much more of a Grinch.
He's way more of a Grinch. What was his motivation for taking this money?
Okay, I wrote it down. Are you ready for this? It's the dumbest thing ever.
His motivation for hating Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. Go for it.
It is.
It's so stupid. It's such a bad reason to hate Christmas.
Right. So like you were saying,
Christmas did nothing wrong.
No, as you were saying, like I do like this movie. I think it's pretty good, but like there actually is like it's like this. It's like this doesn't quite work.
Yeah, it's
we
like
could have done
lack
better.
Of fully deep substance.
Yeah, it's not quite there. Yeah. So basically, Jimmy hates Christmas because his father, when he was growing up,
was a big Christmas guy.
Loved Christmas. And then one year when he was a child, his father got laid off. Yeah. And couldn't afford to
do the big Christmas that he normally does
that year, apparently. But also, and then so I think that kind of jaded him to the idea of Christmas.
Then that same year, it was his neighbor?
Yes, his neighbors were...
Still had a big Christmas.
Yeah, he was then made jealous or envious. Of his neighbors who were still doing their big Christmas celebration. And that's why he hates Christmas.
Well, because then he went over there. He was going to pull a Grinch.
Yeah.
He was going to go over there and steal all their shit.
Right.
He was going to go over there and steal all their shit.
Yeah.
And then he accidentally frightened like the old grandpa in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Who like fell down the stairs and
accident.
died.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
He like accidentally killed a guy.
Yeah.
And that like started his life of crime, was accidentally killing this guy because he was going to steal shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, none of this is Christmas's fault. Like, come back to me when you're that chick in the Gremlins whose dad got stuck in the chimney and died.
Yeah, Christ, right?
Like, that's a reason to hate Christmas.
Yeah, right? This isn't really a reason to hate Christmas. This is a reason to hate capitalism and consumerism. Yeah. And I understand that these two things get conflated, but, like, certainly Jimmy is intelligent enough to know that this isn't Christmas's problem.
Right, yeah.
Like you said, Christmas did nothing.
No, yeah. Like, what company laid his dad off?
Yeah.
That's who we need to look at.
Yeah. Why were his neighbors like so greedy if they had to have known that their neighbors were in a time of need around especially a time of giving like Christmas, that they wouldn't like invite them into their home and provide them with the things they couldn't
they
have?
Were still are, because I mean, I don't know much about what my neighbors are going through. That's a different problem with modern day.
Also that.
We don't really talk with our neighbors in that way.
That's really, really true.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I'll have
Like,
one or two neighbors that I know
Lauren
about.
knows all her neighbors, but
Yeah.
she lives in a cul-de-sac, so it's different.
yeah.
Anyway, so it's shallow. It's
very-
a
it's
shallow
shallow
reason
reason.
for him to be doing all of this.
Yeah, to make it so Christmas focused.
Yes.
You could hate Christmas and just like not want to celebrate it and just like move on with your life.
Yep.
But then to be like, so I'll name myself Mr. Scrooge, you'll be Peppermint,
Yep.
you'll be Frosty.
Yep. You'll be Candy Cane. You'll be Tinsel. You'll be Sugar Plum. Yep.
Yeah. Good old Krampus. Gotta have a Krampus.
Gotta have a Krampus. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yep.
I understand that being a good day to do a theft.
Yeah.
Christmas, because I don't know, because services aren't, like things are kind of slow.
Yeah.
There's lots of skeleton crews running things.
I was actually thinking about this when I was looking at depictions of Santa in horror movies.
Okay,
right? Yeah. And many times I will mention a little bit of a, not foreshadowing. As I will talk, a teaser. Yeah. As I will talk about. There's most of when Santa shows up in horror movies, it's a dude dressed in the way we recognize Santa to look like.
Yeah.
Which I think we all know is from like the 1933 Coca-Cola Christmas commercial.
Yeah.
The whole thing. But he's not actually the guy. He's not Santa, right? And so what I was thinking about is that that made me think of true crime and how a lot of, this is such a cheery topic, but a lot of family annihilations happen around Christmas. And like, it's documented. It's a thing. It has happened. I mean, this is a big country. Everything's happened.
Right, yeah.
That like, there are people who have shown up to family gatherings dressed as Santa with the intention of doing something bad to their family.
Yeah.
And then I also think about, again, thinking about true crime, that makes me think of JonBenet Ramsey, because she was killed on Christmas Eve. And one of the bigger reasons why that whole case was such a mess is because the cops got called in on Christmas. And so the cops that were working on Christmas were like the rookies who didn't know what they were doing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's
because everybody with seniority was at home.
Yeah, it's a good day to do crime because like the services aren't there in the same way.
Yeah,
I'm wondering,
Yep. And also just the fact that, like we've already mentioned, it's just like a high emotion time.
Yeah, high stress.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, a lot of things that you might miss because you're focused on so much at once.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing that Scrooge is doing is that he is also kind of a foil for Santa, which I think Grinch is too.
Absolutely. Grinch is an anti-Santa. He takes things, right? Yeah.
And this works even more because this Santa also has kind of like a violent past.
Yeah.
And he's also kind of hating on Christmas at the moment. But the difference is that Santa knows where to put the blame, I guess.
Yeah.
He knows that it's like the consumerism and all of that stuff. But like when the Christmas magic is actually there, like with Trudy, he can still appreciate it. And that's why he's able to save the day.
Yeah. And he is able to kind of like switch it up. Like at the beginning of the movie, we meet him. He's down on himself. He's binge drinking. He pukes on that poor lady's head.
Yeah.
That was so gross.
I know. Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Yeah. And generally kind of being a grumpy guy. And then like once he like gets hooked up with Trudy via the
walkie-talkie, because of course it does work.
Because it does work.
Santa.
Yes. Just like everything your father ever told you worked. That's definitely how it works. Yes. And he's very sweet. He like calls her sweetie, and
especially once he sees her very adorable, nice list.
Yeah. And he does and he does like a little bit of the gentle parenting, because they're talking about kicking him in the ass, and he's like, whoa, Trudy.
The language.
Let's keep it on the nice list.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about how, like, what could we say? And we're like,
is butt okay? Is that
anus? Like, well, it's technically the correct term.
So, I mean, what can you do?
So cute.
It is very cute.
Yeah.
But and then we also see the change in his Christmas magic, because it kind of doesn't work for him at first.
Yeah.
He's like snapping, trying to go back up the chimney, and it's like, it's just fizzing out and stuff.
And he does make it clear throughout the film that like everything about him runs on Christmas magic.
Yes.
And he doesn't fully understand how it works.
It's just the Christmas magic, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's Christmas magic.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like when a computer does something.
Yeah.
They're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, the computer did it. I don't know.
The computer did it, dude. I just pressed a button.
It's Christmas magic.
Yeah. Why does this bag have unlimited presents?
It's just the Christmas
It's the Christmas magic.
Yeah.
Make sure.
How can he touch his nose and go up chimneys? It's the Christmas magic. Yeah. So when the Christmas magic isn't vibing, then Santa can't do things.
Yeah. Which I think is all belief-based.
Crucial to being Santa. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
And it's like belief in himself.
I know.
He's lost belief in himself.
He
lost Christmas magic.
Does Santa believe in himself?
You know? Maybe Trudy believes in Santa, but does Santa believe in Santa?
Well, I think he probably tries to use Trudy's belief in him to gain more belief in himself.
And I think it works.
Yeah.
And then it is that big climactic moment at the end of the film where Santa fucking dies.
Santa fucking dies, yeah.
He fully dies, but they all believe.
Even before that, Santa, he's fighting and does get hit. Like...
Well, when he first started out fighting, when he's still kind of drunk and he doesn't have his magic working, he's honestly nothing special.
No.
He's nothing special.
Kind of getting his butt kicked. And then what I actually really liked is after he has altercation with a couple of the goons. I don't know what else to call them. The Christmas goons.
The Christmas goons.
Yes. To go upstairs, in this palatial estate. And... I think it's after he's thrown the guy out of the window and he gets impaled on which is just on the big fake icicle, which is just absolutely amazing. Loved it. And so he has to take a second to clean himself up, and he's been cut.
Oh yeah,
and so he has to take off his shirt and he's tatted up.
Yeah.
And what I love though is that he lights a candle to sterilize a needle to stitch himself up, and that candle is a Santa candle. Yeah. I loved that.
And then he tries to use wrapping paper.
Yes, and then he uses wrapping paper and a ribbon and I was just like, did you use that because that's all you have, or is this part of the Christmas magic?
Yeah, because that would be a very bad at staunching the blood.
It would be super cool if there was a scene where they removed it and he was healed. Yeah, that would be super
cool. Because the Christmas magic came through. Yeah. But yeah, no, he's really not really that. He's not really holding his own. I mean, he's okay.
He's really, for the first third of this movie, maybe even half, Santa's in a pretty bad way.
Yeah. And it's not until Trudy starts giving him some pep talks and stuff, and he finds a hammer. That's he finally starts to believe in himself, and then he can fucking kill some bitches.
And then he kills some motherfuckers.
Yeah, and that little barn off to the side or shed or whatever.
Yeah.
Where the kill squad comes in, and he's just hammer.
And I would say
chainsaw.
Over the course...
Wood chipper.
But even before that, in those kind of fighting scenes, I really enjoyed them. Because...
I think they were fun.
They had, fun little Christmas... They were over funny little Christmas songs.
Yes.
And, the...
What was that song? I had never heard it before. It's
it was the one in Spanish. Donde está Santa Claus? Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, that was cute.
That is cute.
That's the only Christmas song I'll allow to play
It kind of had a little salsa to it. It was fun.
Donde está Santa Claus?
Yeah,
people want to know.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's a good song.
So yeah, the fight scenes, they're over.
All, it's you're getting
Christmas songs, and it's
ornament
really,
to the eye.
And this is we actually haven't mentioned this yet. This movie's not really a horror movie.
It's not.
But do we care?
I feel the only thing that makes it horror rather than just kind of action,
yeah,
thriller maybe.
Yeah,
it's just how schlocky the violence is.
It's very horror violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than action violence.
Right, because it's so campy.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking about though, is that the fight scenes, right, is they're shot very stylistically an action movie. We kind of have this continuous shot, and the fights are, I think, very well choreographed. And
they're good.
Yeah,
you can see the wear and tear, which I love.
And it's great because, and again, it's of course, all of the violence is related to something Christmassy.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, that guy gets the tree star through his eye.
Yeah.
And then that tree star short circuits and lights on fire.
Yes.
That's just a little bit more That's the camp. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
the
the
camp.
cherry on top.
Yeah, that's the little horror camp.
That crosses the line from a traditional
Yeah, you would not see that in
action
Die Hard.
film to me. No, but no, you would not see that in Die Hard. However, Santa is John McClane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Die Hard references.
Oh yeah, Like he is like something is happening inside a building.
Yeah.
There's like an attack.
Yeah.
Happening inside a building that the attackers don't know he's there.
Yeah, because he was just trying to have a moment of rest.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then has to insert himself into this sort of invasion.
Yeah.
To
try to start
save
taking
the
him
innocent
down,
and punish
one
the bad
by
guys.
one. Yeah.
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 So, yeah. But can I just take a second to talk about the fun?
Oh my God!
the fun
And instead of
Christmas violence,
pushing Hans Gruber,
Yes.
off of the building,
Yeah.
he pulls Mr. Scrooge up through a chimney. It's
Oh
like
my
a reversal.
gosh, I love it. The tree star through the eye. The man getting impaled on the icicle. Absolutely. Yeah. During one of the fight scenes where Santa finds a candy cane and puts it in his mouth until it becomes a shiv and stabs it through the guy's cheek.
Yeah.
And like you just mentioned, like the entire scene where he actually kills Jimmy. Where he kills
Yes.
Mr. Scrooge, where he
It's
goes
all
up
through the chimney.
Oh my
That's
God.
disgusting.
I loved it.
He just compresses that man's body.
When I
chimney.
saw that for the first time in the movie theater, I was so happy. I think I clapped. I was like, yes,
It's gross.
take him up the chimney.
Like thrillers don't. Yeah, I mean, it is like an action comedy thriller, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that level is.
It's a bit much. Yes.
Kind of,
And then I think also something that brings it into the horror territory more so, even though it's barely there, is the Santa lore drop. I don't know if we're ready to talk about the Santa lore drop, but I think that's also, to me, something that brings it into
Yeah, we'll get to
horror
that.
territory.
Yeah, because having that
What else?
backstory is
Oh, I thought of some other great Christmas violence.
Okay.
Trudy's entire
Oh my God,
Home
yes.
Alone.
We have to talk about the Home
trap
Alone part.
with
That's the other part. I was
Candy
thinking
cane
about.
and gingerbread.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it is the idea of like, if you do those sort of traps that the Home Alone kid does, like,
Yeah.
those are violence.
Yeah.
But it's a comedy and it's a Christmas movie. So
And it's played
fine.
for laughs. And I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
because they also,
Because Trudy doesn't even know she's killing these people.
I don't think she fully knows what she's doing.
She's like, bowling ball down the ladder.
Hilarious.
And this guy gets like impaled by the nails.
Right, but what's great about it is like what's great about this scene is everything, but is that they start it out with already seeing like the bed of nails on the ground and the nails sticking up from the ladder. And so it looks like to gingerbread and candy cane that it's like, oh, this kid is trying to set a trap and she's a dumb kid.
But Trudy's clever than that.
And then it kind of turns on their head and they end up like getting pushed out from the attic and then
falling onto the nails.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so much. Gingerbread. Yeah.
Gingerbread gets it.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
And I actually don't even remember what happens to Candy Cane. Candy Cane gets...
Santa shows up.
Santa does show up.
And finishes the job.
Yeah.
It tells Trudy not to look.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that is, it's so Home Alone. Like it's very Rube Goldberg machine, just like bowling balls falling onto a trampoline to trip
Get
up
it, Trudy.
gingerbread Candy Cane to like make her run to a part of the floor that has glue on it, and now she can't
very
move.
sticky glue.
Very sticky
Insanely
glue.
sticky glue. Where did she get this glue? Rich people got good glue.
Yeah, apparently just in their attic.
Exactly. That's
Exactly.
another thing that's like is like just like the relationship between Santa and Trudy.
Yeah.
Why he chooses to get so involved.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one thing where it's like, at first it's like, well, he can't get out. He doesn't have any other option.
Yeah.
Like his reindeer are gone. But then it's like,
he can't just go continue delivering
needs to
presents.
save Trudy. And Trudy saves him.
Yeah.
But like, there's a thing that he says, I think to her, when he's sort of like, I mean, I'll do what I can, but I don't know. Where he talks about, Santa just does presents. He doesn't get involved in people's lives. He just does presents.
Yeah.
And I think he says something like that also to our Scrooge. And Scrooge is like, well, maybe you should. Like he was thinking it's like Santa's fault for his own hatred of Christmas.
Yeah.
And like you can kind of see that maybe in general with like views of like not just Santa, but like the person who is trying to do like the one good, nice thing.
Yeah.
Is then punished for not fixing everything.
Yeah.
Where it's like, why can't we just like be thankful that Santa is doing presents?
Yeah,
Why do we need Santa to save all of Christmas everywhere always?
Yeah,
you know, he's doing his Santa thing.
I was thinking about that because Jimmy does get mad, and he wants because of course these Christmas goons don't believe it's actually Santa. Of course not.
I think Candy Cane is kind of like, but what if?
But what if he is Santa? Oh yeah, Candy Cane is like,
I might be
guys,
Santa.
I think he might be Santa.
He might be Santa. He knows that I was on the naughty list for
making her brother eat worms.
Yes.
That's
naughty.
He does get mad, and then once he's finally convinced that it is Santa.
Yeah.
Wants to kill him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my whole life has been leading up
to murdering Santa.
But your whole life for this?
Yeah.
Babe.
This is a lot. And also, it's just like, but Santa does presents. So, like, if you kill Santa, you're getting rid of, like, the only good things that are left about this holiday.
Yeah. And I bet on that horrible Christmas where you couldn't have the big celebration like you normally do, I bet if you were on the nice list, Santa would have happily given you a present.
Yeah.
Santa's always there with a present.
Yeah.
And that's his only job. You can't expect more of Santa. He's the one guy doing a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it kind of seems like, and again, we're getting into Santa lore drop territory real quick.
We totally can get into Santa lore drop.
It does seem like he has, or at least this Santa seems to have sort of an automated system. Like he's got that electronic scroll that he can open to see anyone and what part of the list they're on and why.
Yes. It's like naughty for these reasons, nice for this reason.
So this Santa, this Christmas magic seems to be taking the form of like technological advancements to keep track of like if people are being naughty or nice. And like a lot of other like horror movies, and also, I mean, what we talked about last year with Krampus is that Santa's got guys.
Yeah.
Like helpers who are like, I got people. I got eyes.
Yeah.
Around all year, making sure that you're behaving. Yeah. And so you'll be on the naughty or the nice list.
Yeah.
When it's time.
Also, that's the interesting part about how he has this technology, you know, and like it's not really like he's necessarily the one. Like he's making the list and he's giving it a check, but you know, it's like not necessarily.
And he also like remembers.
But that's the thing is that he also is committed enough to his job that he's like, oh yeah, I totally know you, Candy Cane.
Yeah.
You know, you were naughty.
Yeah.
And like I remember the bike that you wanted, that you asked me for 50 times, and I gave you the bike, Gingerbread.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, damn, he's committed to his job.
He remembers, yeah.
What a good Santa. And then he's also tatted up. Which is just nice.
Yeah, with all of the, like, very obvious, like, Norse.
Yeah, at first they looked very Celtic runes. To me.
They were.
Some of them looked very Celtic.
Yeah.
And that actually gets into, if you want to set me up for it, that is a good lead into what I want to talk about with the Santa.
All right. Literary corner.
It's another one of those things where I feel like this movie could have gone a little bit. I love the idea of nodding to a Santa having a history in a previous life.
Yeah.
But I feel like they didn't really do their basic historical. Like, I'm just a hobbyist fan of the Middle Ages.
We could have gone harder.
And like, I just feel like some of the details don't really add up. Like I said, those seem like Celtic tattoos, and then there's like the
Norse.
Then
they go Norse,
yeah. And I'm kind of like, what is going on? Yeah. And then his name is Nicomund the Red. That's his actual name.
Yeah, when we get the lore drop.
Yes, he says he was a raider and a thief, and I was mean, I was greedy, I wanted gold, jewels.
Mm-hmm. And he also had his special weapon, his hammer, called Skull Crusher. Yes.
Yes, we love him. He seems very cool. Mm-hmm. To me, Nicomund, that's such an Anglo-Saxon name. I'm sorry, that is not a Viking name. That is an Anglo-Saxon name. Mm. If it was Nicomundur, that'd be a little more Viking.
Oh, okay.
To my... Again, admittedly, like hobbyist ears, you know, I'm not. I did look it up. Nicomund is, if you Google Nicomund, only this movie comes up. It's like not an existing name.
Got it.
Nico, though, which is where like Nicholas and all those other names come from, is originally like probably from like Greek roots with like Nike, meaning victory. Mm-hmm. But that's found its way into many languages. So that could be Norse, that could be Anglo-Saxon, that could be lots of things, you know. But Mund is specifically Anglo-Saxon. It means like protection.
Oh, okay.
Which is cute. He has a name mean victory and protection. Like, wow, powerful.
Some good things to be named.
Powerful name.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the Norse version would be like Munder. And he did not say his name was Nico Munder. But also, the whole deal, this is more of a history corner for a moment.
Yeah.
Where the Viking Age, so-called for the period of time when Nordic people were, raiding and attempting to settle in Britain versus like the Anglo-Saxon people.
Yeah.
And this would have been from like, I think the first big raid that happened, they attacked like a bunch of monks at like a temple. Was like 794, 749.
I'm going to take your word for that.
Late 8th century.
Yeah.
And then basically goes on until the Norman conquest. Before that, the Norse were kind of already driven out by the Anglo-Saxons, but at that point, it's like, okay, we are Norman conquest time now, and it was very over by then, which would have been like, yeah, like I said, 1044. So like before that. So him saying he met his wife, like I said, it's a little...
The timeline
isn't quite right.
I have clarifying questions.
Yeah, the timeline isn't quite right unless he met his wife later when he was already Santa. The other thing is that, like, I'm wondering maybe he lived in Danelaw, which is for a while the Anglo-Saxons and the Nordic people, sort of mostly Danish people, agreed that Danelaw would be in North Britain and Anglo-Saxon rule would be in like South Britain. And like and that's why to this day England has a lot of place names, especially in the north, that are very like Nordic in origin.
Also, like, I think about, we do it in the United States, how we differentiate the North from the South.
Yeah.
Like, they also do that in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, there's cultural differences between, and I think that's true for a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it goes back to that. So, like, maybe he was a guy who lived in sort of like on Britain, but in sort of like a Danish, so he's like kind of a Viking, but also can have a kind of more Anglo-Saxon name. I don't know. He describes himself as a raider, which is definitely how the Anglo-Saxons would have described the Vikings. Not necessarily how the Vikings would have described themselves.
Never is, yeah.
But like maybe him looking back on it, he'd be like, yeah, no, they were right.
We were raiding.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe what we were doing. Yeah.
I was also thinking about his epithet of the Red.
Yeah,
which is like, because he saw red in battle or bloody or something.
Yeah, it's like, is he a berserker?
Yeah. Maybe. Most people who had that epithet, like, it's because they had red hair.
Yeah.
They just kind of have red hair.
I think of Barbarossa, just means red beard.
Yeah, just like red hair.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of people like that in France and stuff. Yeah. Some people I saw who were maybe like inspiration. Eric the Red was the first Norseman to settle in Greenland during the Viking Age.
Yeah.
He settled in Greenland. Also during the Viking Age, there was a guy named Thorstein the Red. He was born in Ireland, but of like mixed Gaelic and Norse heritage. And he tried to conquer all of Scotland.
Good luck.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was just sort of like, if you're making him a Viking, you could have made him more of a Viking. Instead, I feel like they kind of conflated Anglo-Saxon and Viking together, which is like kind of fair because they had a lot of like, fighting over that land and also like intermingling and trading and all sorts of things. Like there was like crossover and stuff, but also like make him a fucking Viking if you want to make him a Viking.
Yeah.
So that's basically like his given name, I guess, whatever you want to call it. His pre-Santa name. That was interesting. But then the other thing he is when Scrooge is like, you're obviously not Santa. What's your real name? Or whatever. He says something like that. And Santa's like, Weihnachtmann, Julenissen, Shengdan Loren, Babo Natalie, Per Noel, Kris Kringle, Jolly Old Saint Nick. Yeah.
Doesn't he say something in Mandarin too?
Yeah. I want to just run down all of these Santa names.
I can't wait. I want nothing more.
Some of them are not Santa.
Yeah.
We will find out. So just in order.
Lay it on me. Yeah.
Get ready for a lot of attempts at pronunciation that are going to not quite hit the mark, but I looked them up. I wrote down my transliterations of them. We're doing our best.
Yep, you are.
So our German, Weihnachtsmann.
Okay.
Which is like the Nightman, So this goes back to like we're in Germany. The Feast of St. Nicholas is being celebrated on December 6th with the giving of gifts to children. But then this guy named Martin Luther comes along.
Yeah, that fucker. I'm kidding. What if this is when I come out as vehemently anti-Lutheran? I'm kidding. Anyway, Martin Luther,
Yeah. He starts the Protestant Reformation and all of that. And like his big deal, he's like, we need to take the emphasis off of saints because that's Catholic shit.
That's Catholic shit. That's idolatry is what that is. Yep.
So he's like, we're not going to celebrate any feast days of any saints anymore. We're going to celebrate Christmas and Christmas Eve. We're going to celebrate Jesus and nobody else. Yeah. And like, it also didn't help that, before Santa became to look how he looks now, Saint Nicholas he looked like a bishop because he was a fucking bishop. He was in bishop attire. And it's like, that's so popey.
Yeah.
That's so Catholic.
Very Catholic.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But so like,
especially I would think in the United States.
Yeah.
Once that idea comes, because that's what I was going to say, is that all of our ideas of Santa, what you're going to tell us, like all the Santas, some of which are Santa, some of which are not, are like come from all of these places that are mainly in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
And so like we do just kind of get them all squished together and it's just vaguely Northern European. Like we were telling, like, is it Celtic? Is it Norse? I don't know. Is it German? Enough. It's Northern European. Get into it.
And definitely if you want to hear more about that, our Black Christmas episode, I do talk about a lot of the like original dark winter holidays and like Belsnickel, who was kind of an early Santa-ish figure, and like Woden and his wild hunt.
Yeah. For those Northern Europeans who have
it's all very like Germanic
dark-ass winters.
Yeah. But now here we are later, and we're in Germany. Yeah. Protestant Reformation's happening. Mm-hmm. We hate saints, but like you can't just tell a bunch of children, hey, you don't get to get gifts during the winter anymore. And Martin Luther, the guy himself, was smart enough to realize that. And so he's like, okay, we need something else.
Because Martin Luther understands that religion serves a function of maintaining a social order.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. It just didn't need all of that Pope shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
so then he comes up with...
What's the pitch?
Once again, the Christkind, as in like the Christ child, the baby Jesus.
Yeah.
The Christkind. But it becomes sort of like more like a little glimmer of light, little tiny angel that like enters with gifts and leaves unseen. And like if you try to see it, then like it won't give you the gifts. Like don't even look at it. It's just a little spirit of Christmas that is also baby Jesus, but not.
And will give you gifts.
Yeah.
So you still get your gifts.
Yeah. And so people were like, okay, that's fine. But a lot of other people were like, that's a little weak sauce. I don't, just a little light, little angel. Like, I don't even get to see it. Yeah. Nobody gets to dress up. Like, come on. And plus, some people just really liked St. Nicholas. He was a giver of gifts to children. I'll talk about him more later. But
you're going to ask people who have been traditionally Catholic and worshiping saints for generations to just stop doing that? Yeah.
So what happens instead is that St. Nicholas sort of starts to lose some of his, like, religious attributes. And sort of like gain influence from other cultures, more like secular stuff. Yeah. And he becomes actually more of a secular figure, known at sort of refigured, I guess, as this Weihnachtsmann, this nightman. And he looks, very much how you would picture a stereotypical Santa with like the furry, the worm coats, and the little hat and stuff. And this is also, as we talked about in our Krampus episode, he'll often be with Knecht Ruprecht or Krampus or somebody else, because you need him to be the good guy, and which means you need somebody else to be the Punisher,
shadow. Yep.
And he's also drawing on like those older, darker Germanic roots that I talk about in our Black Christmas episode, like Woden and all of that stuff. But basically, he's just a guy who comes in the night and knocks on your door, and you let him in, and he gives you a gift, and then he leaves.
Cool.
And that's the guy. That's your German guy.
Yeah, that sounds like Santa.
I mean, it's very Santa, except for he comes through the door.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be kind of a thing where, like, a neighbor would dress up as Santa and come and knock and, like, give you a gift and then leave, or not Santa, Weihnachtsmann, right? No. And the idea is that he's safe to sort of have as, like, a little thing because he's not religious. He's kind of more of a secular thing that you can have kind of associated with, just like he's just a little gift-giving guy. Don't worry about it.
Something just to get through the winter.
Yeah. It's just like a fun little thing.
Yeah.
I will talk
gift-giving guy.
Yeah. We will circle back to Germany and to the Christkind later, because that's the other thing is that a lot of this is very like Germanic roots.
Hanseatic League, y'all.
Yeah. But the other one he says, the next one he says is Julnissen.
Mm-hmm. I hear Yule.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So like this is like a Nordic kind of, Iceland, Iceland, Sweden, that sort of area, and like basically I picture a garden gnome, like a stereotypical garden gnome. He's like just a little guy with a little red pointy hat.
Cute.
And it's just like one of those like household spirits, those little, like you get a lot in like, Swedish and Icelandic.
Sounds like a fae.
Yeah, but their version of fae, like, how they have all of those like trolls and stuff in Sweden. Yeah, their own little trolls and
Norway,
things.
yeah.
And they have like household spirits, who like...
Well, and they're also like those trolls are like supposed to represent like the spirit of nature.
Yeah.
And how like kind of wild and uncontrollable it can be.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah.
And these are the ones, these Nisser, because unlike Santa, the Julnissen isn't just like one dude. There's like multiple different type of Nisser. But they're like, they'll do chores around the house, around the stable, and then like around Yule time, you're supposed to reward them with like porridge.
Of course.
And it's got to be good porridge. It's got to have the milk and the butter.
Yes.
Otherwise, they will cause havoc.
Yeah. You can't just make it with water.
Yeah.
None of that shit.
Yeah. And like the origins of like the specific, like there's a lot of other little like house spirits and stuff.
Of course.
The specific like Yuletide one, like the name Nissa might come from St. Nicholas, because like it sounds a lot like Niels, that kind of name, which is like a Nicholas derivative, but like it's not totally known for sure. And yeah, they're not very Santa, technically. Mm-hmm. The only thing that's kind of Santa is the idea of you put out a little sweet treat for a special little guy on Christmas.
Yeah. But he's been working for you all year.
Yeah. So it's like different.
It's different.
And only recently, like in more modern times, has this Julnissen come to resemble like how we picture Santa Claus. Like he's no longer just a tiny little guy. Now it's like he's a bigger guy. A man. Yeah. And he used to be like, or they used to be, because there's multiples of them, right? Like clean shaven, kind of more childlike. And now it's like he's got the white beard and he's the guy, and now he will be like, he's not just like a year-round helper anymore. He's a guy that's just going to come like an annual visitor, leaving a gift. He's like very much become Santa, but that's not what it was originally. So Santa kind of, if this character Santa is saying that's another name for him, I'm just saying he kind of usurped like somebody else's game. There were little trolls doing their own job.
He's coming for some queens.
Yeah,
today.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's coming for some queens.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then the one you said in Mandarin.
Yes, that I couldn't.
Shangden Lauren.
Okay, that one. Yeah.
Shangden Lauren.
Okay.
Doing my best.
Yep.
It is essentially a Chinese name for Santa Claus.
Is it Mandarin?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because it is a Chinese Mandarin. It could be Cantonese. I don't know. Oh.
Pretty sure it was Mandarin.
Probably is Mandarin.
I'm not sure if I looked at it specifically.
Okay.
But
guys, reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does translate most closely to Old Christmas Man.
Yes.
Which feels very like British and other Western European, like Father Christmas.
Yes, it feels, without you saying anything else right now, it feels like the way a region in the global East, right, would interpret an incredibly Western idea. That is Santa.
And that's literally it. He didn't show up until like the 19th century.
Yeah.
Which is also when Santa was getting kind of bigger again. That's when we were having that Christmas revival with like Dickens and stuff, and Queen Victoria.
Snow on Christmas, the whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing, and then also going on from then when it becomes that commercial thing with the Coca-Cola Santa and all of that. That's when he starts to really come to resemble Santa. And he is a Santa you'll see at like Chinese malls and stuff, Awesome. But he's not really like, there are Christians in China.
Absolutely.
Of course. Yep. But kind of like I was saying about how in Germany it becomes kind of more secular. And honestly, here in America, it's become Santa Claus is very secular. Yep. Like this is more of a secular figure. It's possible. I saw something about him maybe being combined with an existing mythology about some sort of like judgment figure, naughty and nice list kind of guy who would travel the world on the longest night of the year and maybe bring like gifts or punishment. I'm not sure about a lot of this because I was really struggling to find English sources.
Something in English
about Shangden Lauren.
Yeah, that's fair.
That were actually written by Chinese people too.
Yeah.
The ones I did find were like when I was in China on my school trip.
No.
I'm like, I don't know if I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take things that I say about him with him, you know.
Yeah.
And actually that kind of goes into my next person. Babbo Natale.
Oh, yeah. Sounds Italian.
It's very Italian. A lot of the sources I found for him were like, Mama in Italy, or come visit Italy, or like these weird tourist blogs.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, like things like that. But he's an Italian Santa who has, like a lot of others on this list, combined the sort of more Western understanding of Santa, of Saint Nick imagery, with like their kind of their own older traditions.
Their shit. Yeah.
Babbo Natale translates to Daddy Christmas. Not like Father Christmas, but
Daddy.
like Daddy.
Of course, the Italians.
Yeah, he's Daddy.
Of course it does, yes.
Yeah. The thing I like about him is that the stuff that's like very specifically Italian about him, you know? He does have his elves, you know, like a lot of Santas do. But he also has a sort of, I don't know, jolly rival, I guess, another Christmas person who gives gifts, La Befana,
Okay.
who is a Christmas witch.
Awesome.
Who literally rides around on a broomstick and
Like a
on
wit-
the eve
like a witch.
of Epiphany, not on Christmas Eve, which I think is when the wise men came to give gifts.
Oh, yeah.
I think. She rides around a broomstick and she climbs down chimneys and gives gifts in like stockings and stuff.
Oh.
So she's like very Santa coded.
Christmas witch.
She's the Christmas. La
What's
Befana.
her name again?
La Befana. So like the
Befana.
Befana. Befana coming from Epiphany. Epiphany something. She's like very just like this old crone who's like, here's a gift.
I love that.
I love her.
Yes.
I was like, I don't even care about Daddy Christmas anymore.
Yeah.
Tell me about La Befana.
La Befana. But anyway, Daddy Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much. We start getting
Yeah.
into things where it's sort of like, yeah, that's just another word for Santa.
Yeah.
There's not like
Depending
a lot of
on where you are.
interesting- Yeah.
Or whatever the closest concept that culture has to Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with the French one. I cannot do French.
No.
Père Noël, which is another word for Father Christmas.
Yeah.
France. Didn't find anything interesting about him. He's just
That's what they call him in France.
that's what they call him.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it's kind of interesting that Santa Claus or like names related to Nicholas, Saint Nicholas, aren't as popular as just names that are like Father Christmas. And I think that's Britain influence. Father Christmas was very much what they
very
called
British.
it when
Yeah.
they were getting more secular with it.
Yeah.
When they were like, not Saint Nick,
Father Christmas.
Father Christmas.
Well, and then it also goes really good with Baby New Year, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, so a lot of it's just that. And a lot of this is coming around like that same like 1800s kind of time period, Kris Kringle, the name Kris Kringle, I think we've all heard it as like just another name for Santa.
Yeah.
I never thought to look into its origin.
Yeah.
And it's, remember good old Martin Luther and his Christkind?
Yeah. Yeah.
Christkind, Kris Kringle.
Kris
Kringle.
Kringle.
Kris Kringle. It just comes from that.
Oh, wow.
He is the baby Jesus.
He's Baby Jesus, who's also Santa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's the origin name, because it's like, yeah, I mean, he's literally Jesus returned as an angel to give gifts on his own birthday.
Right. Because he's that selfless.
Yes.
Because he's the savior.
So yeah, that's literally just where Kris Kringle comes from. When we say Kris Kringle, we're
Fascinating.
actually saying baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus, who is also Santa.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's like Martin Luther was trying to be like, I'm going to separate Saint Nick from the baby Jesus, and it's going to be all about the baby Jesus. And we're like, yeah, sure, Christ child,
Yeah.
baby Jesus, Kris Kringle.
Yeah.
And now everybody who hears Kris Kringle is like, oh, you mean Santa?
Santa.
Saint Nick, Santa?
Yeah.
Just imagine Martin Luther like, oh, that Saint Nicholas,
Yeah.
you saint.
Yeah.
But yes, the big difference between like Saint Nicholas and Santa figures and this little Christkind, this little baby Jesus, is that like Saint Nicholas is supposed to be a very like outgoing, jovial figure. You're supposed to tell him what you want.
be
You're supposed
jolly.
to sit on his lap
Yeah.
and ask him for things. Yeah. He's supposed to come knock on your door or come down the chimney. There are some stories about like trying to stay up all night to see him, but you always fall asleep before he comes. If you try to see the baby Jesus on Christmas Eve,
oh God, yeah,
you will not get presents.
Oh, yeah.
He just will fucking bounce.
Yeah.
He's like, how dare you try to behold me?
Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's supposed to be like, the idea is that if you want a more like somber, very spiritual Christmas, then you'll have like a little baby Jesus. I also wonder if maybe that's where the little angel on the top of the tree comes from.
Maybe.
I wonder if that's a baby Jesus, because a lot of the pictures I saw of the Christkind. We're like little angelic,
Very
curly
angelic
blonde
in that way.
hair and the little wings. Like it looks very Christmas topper angel. But I don't know. That's just my theory. And then the last name, of course, he says is jolly old Saint Nicholas.
Yes.
The guy.
Yep.
Let's talk about this guy. I love saint stories.
Yeah.
They're always wild.
Yeah.
And we will have, this is actually kind of contemporary-ish with Saint Sebastian, who we talked about in our Carrie episode.
Yeah.
There aren't actually any like contemporary writings, you know, about Saint Nicholas, but we have a lot of writing after the fact and stuff. And it's like pretty generally agreed on that he was a bishop in Myra, which is a city that's in Turkey, present day Turkey. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is like 4th century. And he was like,
It wasn't Turkey then.
yeah, exactly. And he was born in like Greece, I guess is what he would say.
Nearby.
Is that he's Greek.
Yeah.
You know, and he was persecuted because he was one of those early Christians when the Romans were still in control. And Diocletian, the same emperor who I mentioned in our Saint Sebastian episode, who like fucking killed Saint Sebastian, like maybe imprisoned and tortured Saint Nicholas. But luckily for him, Constantine came in power, Emperor Constantine, who was a lot more
Friendly to the
Christians and like converted on his deathbed or whatever.
Wow.
He's like the guy who made Christianity A-okay. And so that it became the powerhouse it is today. You know, so St. Nicholas got released from prison because Constantine was like, no, release the Christians. Let them be free. Again, the historicity of this, very debated. There's no like writing from the time. Also, I would say he is primarily known for like 2 things. The first one is that he punched some guy in the face during the Council of Nicaea.
St. Nicholas did?
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. He punched some guy in the face.
Yeah, I bet that guy deserved it.
Yeah, he was a heretic.
Oh.
So
Uh-oh.
hard to say. But I do like that one of the big stories about him is that like is this kind of violence.
Yes.
Which is very interesting for our Viking Santa.
Yes.
Like if they wanted to make him St. Nicholas, they honestly could have had a badass St. Nicholas backstory of him getting prisoned and then tortured and then dealing with a heretic and being like, nah, fuck that, and decking this guy.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly kind of fun. Another story, the other thing that he's really known for is like secretly giving little gifts, very generous gifts. There's also stories about him. He'll leave little gifts in people's like shoes.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of where like shoes and stockings and stuff, you know. There is a story. He becomes the patron saint of children because of a story that is probably not historical, to say nothing of the, you know, miracle of it, which is, you know, magic, which is that during a lean time, some butcher was like, I'll just kill some children and eat them.
Delicious.
And sell their meat.
Yeah.
That'll be great. And St. Nicholas was like, no, you don't.
will
And
not.
like reassembled and resurrected these dead children. So like, okay.
Okay.
And the thought is that
That's a miracle, all right.
That's a miracle.
Yep.
And the thought is that actually he wasn't really like meant to be like a saint to children, but that story was depicted so much that people not knowing the story were like, oh, he hangs out with children.
I see.
Cool.
Cool.
He's also a patron saint to sailors.
Oh.
Because he was a bit of a traveler and he like faced down storms and shit.
Yeah, I mean, if he's Greek, they're like, he's right on the Mediterranean.
Yeah, and he went to Jerusalem
Yeah,
and back
yeah. Oh,
and there's
yeah.
storms, you know.
Probably a
things
couple
like that.
times.
Yeah, yeah. But the most common story and why he's like generous, known for being generous and like the Santa of it, is the one, you've probably heard this one. It's about a guy who like lost all of his wealth, so he didn't have money for dowries for his 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And of course, that means nothing else could these daughters do but become prostitutes.
Yeah.
There was no other option.
So I've heard the story a couple of times where they are forced into sex work as a result of not having a dowry, or it's more generally like forced into quote unquote slavery, which I'm sure probably has a sex work component to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I understand Saint Nick, that guy
that's
to
his
be.
story. Yeah. Because then the thing that makes him very Santa Claus is that he wants to help them, but he's like very modest. He's like such a cool guy. So he's like, I'm going to come at night and just throw some bags of gold through their window.
Don't even worry about
They
it.
won't even know who it is. And so like the first daughter gets married, and then because in stories things always happen in threes.
Yes, of course.
He does it like 3 times so that each daughter can get married. But I think in some stories the dad catches him on the last one and is like, "Oh my God, I'm so thankful for
Thank you, Saint Nicholas."
And Saint Nicholas is just like, "How about we just don't tell anybody that I did this because I'm so chill and cool."
Yeah.
And like shush.
Yeah.
So that's his whole bag, which is very he comes at night and he gives gifts. Oh yeah, that's Santa.
That's the guy.
And that's why his feast day is sort of celebrated by giving gifts. A, he saved those children. B, he gave a bunch of gold to people. He was super generous.
Yeah.
We're not going to bring up him maybe punching a guy.
That guy probably deserved it.
He was a heretic. We don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, as I said, the Reformation happened and that kind of put an end to the feast day. But the Dutch in particular were like real holdouts.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't give a shit. We love him.
We love Saint Nick.
And the way to say like Saint Nicholas in Dutch is Sinterklaas. Sint or Klaus. Yeah. So like it sounds like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Is where I'm getting. And since they then went on to colonize what is now New York City, New Amsterdam.
It's true, yeah.
Among other American colonies, you know.
Yeah.
They sort of brought
by we, I mean I, like the Dutch had, I forget.
The Dutch had
a nice
skin in the game.
They had Indonesia.
Yeah.
They've got a good chunk of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like
they were
not to mention they've got colonies in Africa. Holy moly. Anyway,
yeah. And they're the reason that English speaking people started to call him Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. I
Sinterklaas.
was literally thinking, then where did Santa Claus come from?
You can kind of hear it because it sounds kind of like Saint Nicholas, Santa
but
Claus.
it also,
but
I
not
hear like
enough.
I hear like Klaus. I
Yeah.
think like Saint Klaus. And I was like, is there a Saint Klaus?
Yeah.
No,
but
there's
it's
a Saint
because
Nicholas.
because they call them Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas.
Yeah, Sinterklaas.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
And that's where we get
They
Santa
call him
Claus.
Santa Claus. He starts combining with all these other kind of Christmassy figures popping up, and that's really how we get Santa Claus.
Wow.
So
And now here we are.
I find it interesting that this movie name drops all of these names and it's like clearly like, yeah, Santa Claus. Most of them are kind of boring though. They're just like, yeah, there's just another name for him. It's not actually getting into like the origins.
Yeah.
They aren't like, yeah, I was Woden. I was Belsnickel. What up?
Yeah.
You know, it's just sort of like, yeah, this is what I'm called in Mandarin. This is what I'm called in this
In
other
French,
language, you
yeah.
know? And there's like nothing really Viking in it.
No.
You know, like, and like, I don't know. That's what I mean about this movie. I'm like, that's cool, and I love that. That's a great moment, and everything they're doing with Viking Santa is like super fun.
I'm into it. Yeah.
But like, they just didn't quite dig deep enough
Yeah.
to like make it feel right.
Right.
When you actually think about it.
And it's funny because, again, like I told you, I was re-listening to the Krampus episode, and you were talking about, again, sort of the lore of
Yes.
Krampus and what an amazing job those
remember.
filmmakers did.
Krampus has some good lore. They've
Yeah.
got like the name of those little Icelandic boys.
Yep. And like the hook coming down
Yes,
from the chimney.
from the hook man, the meat hook guy. Yes.
The whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And so
the
this is
Angelus
kinda-
Percta.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like this is the opposite.
Yeah.
This is like you kind of just strung together some vaguely Santa things
And decided you wanted him to be a Viking.
to make Santa lore.
When you could have made him more of like a Germanic tribal.
Yeah.
That would have been more on brand for like Woden,
Much more.
Belsnickel, that really early stuff.
Yeah.
And then he would have been, I feel like that would have worked better.
Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, there is a sequel
Oh, in the works.
planned.
That's right.
I don't know if it's in production right now or if it's just planned, but there is a sequel, and I think that is something that they're
saw
planning
the
to
goal
address in the sequel
was December 26th.
of 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
And I
December
think
26th.
that's probably what they're going to try to do in that sequel is get more into the Santa
And
lore.
I also did see
And we
that-
might get to meet Mrs. Claus as well.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I
Yeah.
saw that David Harbour was like, and for me, I think Mrs. Claus should be played by Charlize Theron.
I
and
also
it's
saw
like,
that. I'm like, of course you
Yeah,
think
of course
that.
you think that.
Yeah.
We would all love to be married to Charlize Theron if we had the choice. Like, you can't just say Charlize. Like, think about Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
Give a real answer.
Yeah. Should be like Amy Sedaris.
Oh my God. Honestly, I like that.
Yeah.
Or,
She's just like a little quirky. Mm-hmm. You know, she knows her husband has a past, but she loves him anyway.
or somebody,
Oh, God.
what was her name? Catherine something. The chick who played Lagertha in the Vikings show on History Channel.
Ooh, that's
Like,
all.
get it-
That's all you. Okay, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but like get an actual like Swedish like actress who can come bring Viking energy.
Yes. Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
be cool. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Have her, like, be bigger and tougher than Santa.
Santa? Yes! Have a
Oh,
fucking
my God.
badass chick.
Okay, well.
Anyway.
Reach out. Guys, people making this movie, reach out. We're on Instagram. we have notes. So that's so funny. All that setup is actually perfect because now, you're the literary person and I just like to watch horror movies. So, and
the conceit of the podcast.
The conceit of this podcast. So I was thinking, I was like, how is, because we've covered 2 sort of Christmas horror movies so far, but they have not included Santa.
Yes.
Like even in Krampus, Santa's not a part of this at all. He's absent from the story.
Yeah. Conspicuously absent.
Yeah. Actually.
Where is he?
Yeah. So I was thinking, what is the story with Santa showing up in horror movies?
Because we've talked about why Christmas horror movies make sense.
Yes. Why Christmas is kind of a scary time. It's dark.
But how involved does Santa get?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So as I was looking into this, obviously doing a lot of research with mostly IMDb.
Shout out IMDb.
Got to. There's a ton of Christmas horror movies, and there are many Christmas horror movies that actually have a Santa character.
Right.
But most of the time, at least again from my IMDb research, most of the time
she does her own research.
Yes. It is someone who has made themselves to look like Santa,
but is not
Santa. Who has made themselves to look like Santa in order to enact violence on others. And so it's kind of what you were talking about, like Saint Nick maybe punching that guy.
Yeah.
Is that like, what if the actual, like this myth and legend of Santa Claus that's kind of been like whitewashed, if you will.
Yeah.
He's jolly. He's kind. He listens to children and, gives them presents.
He's not a punisher anymore. If he does punish, it's either you don't get toys or you get coal. Like, oh my God.
So, but like, what if this idea that Santa is based off, what if the actual guy is somebody like, it's something a little bit more darker and more frightening and maybe a bit more of a punisher, right?
You better watch out.
Exactly.
You better not cry.
Which is, of course, and again, last year when we talked about Krampus, we talked about how like Krampus and all of his little minions are sort of like, they're there to help Santa in a way.
Yeah,
again,
they're
to keep
Santa's
an eye.
other half.
Because really, if you think about it, and you don't really need to think about it for that long, that like he knows when you're sleeping and when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. Like, who is this guy?
Yes, he sneaks into your home.
Yeah,
in the middle
that has
of the night,
this like
home
surveillance technology that like has some sort of moral code.
Yeah,
that he has the power to enact on people.
Yeah.
So like Santa, I mean, he's kind of like he's a big figure, almost sort of like a superhero.
Yeah.
As we think about like what happens if that superhero uses his powers for bad.
In the Marvel comics, Santa Claus is a character. He's a mutant.
I believe it. And
he hangs out with the X-Men sometimes.
And so, so like, what's his mutant power? Is it being able to travel?
It's being Santa.
It's being Santa.
His mutant power is Santa.
Booing the Santa thing.
It's Christmas magic.
So does he hang out at the mansion?
Around. No, he just comes around for a Christmas special every now and then and has to help, defeat some Christmas-themed evil.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah, but he's one of the older mutants.
So, but normally, again, in a lot of these Christmas horror movies, it's a dude dressed up as Santa to enact violence on others, and of course, those others are usually women. So they're not actually Santa Claus. They're basically just like a Christmas-flavored psycho killer.
Yeah, which okay.
Which from any given slasher.
And you can do that in, I mean,
any season.
We love a holiday-themed slasher.
Yeah. But we also love like a summer camp slasher.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's right there with fucking the fucking Pilgrim and Thanksgiving.
Yes. The sequel's coming out next year. I'm so excited.
But I mean, we love that shit. And all the Halloween ones and like.
Yes.
Yeah, of course there's got to be a Santa-themed killer.
Because again, like what, horror helps us sort of like deal with and cope with our anxieties. And like we got anxieties all year.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff to worry about in the summertime. There's stuff to worry about in the fall. Stuff to worry about in the winter. Like,
yeah. When ain't we worrying?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a bunch of movies where, like it's just like a deranged, possibly like escaped convict, someone who has experienced some trauma and has like snapped from reality, has decided to dress up like Santa. So there's there's a 2016 movie. I haven't seen this movie. Most of these movies I'm going to say I haven't seen. But there's a 2016 movie called A Christmas to Dismember.
Gotta give them that one. Christmas to Dismember.
Yeah, and so they have names like Bloody Christmas.
That one's kind of weak.
Yeah.
You mentioned all those Silent Night.
Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Yeah.
Black Christmas, Christmas Horror Story. Yeah, there's actually like 6 Silent Night, Deadly Nights.
Yeah. As I found out, this isn't Santa, but as I found out right before we started recording, there is a movie called Mr. Scrooge's Naughty List.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about
don't know
that.
what that one is.
Are you sure it's not porn?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it was a horror one.
Yeah, there's a movie from 2012 also called Silent Night. Better Watch Out. And then, of course, there's punny ones like Santa's Sleigh and Santa Claus.
Oh,
yeah.
She had her hands up like claws.
Yeah, like claws, yeah.
The Naughty List of Mr. Scrooge, a 2024 American horror film.
Okay. Sounds like it's not
a
porn.
horror slasher.
Okay.
Maybe next year.
Next year.
Look down on Mr. Scrooge's Naughty List.
So that's not really what I was looking for. I was like, no.
I want the guy.
The Santa. Like, because of course, and then of course there are plenty of Christmas movies where Santa is an actual character, but those are not horror movies.
Right, yeah. All of the Hallmark movies where some old guy with a white beard shows up and gives a little wink at the end.
Yeah. Well, or in like Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah. So I've basically, through my research, only including this movie, Violent Night, found really 3 other movies where the Santa is involved in the horror.
Oh.
And actually, one of them is actually the one I already said, I mentioned already, called Santa's Sleigh.
Is he the killer?
He is the killer. So here, because this is actually something that I was thinking about, like.
It's very easy to make Santa scary.
It's easy to make Santa scary, but also, like, I was thinking about who is this guy, Nicomund the Red.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if, like, because he knows that he was so bad, he was like, if there was a naughty list back then, I would have been on the top, you know? And so I wonder if maybe his Santa-ing is, like, some sort of, like, cosmic punishment
like
for
repentance.
his behavior. Yeah. So I have not seen Santa's Sleigh. It's from 2005. Everything I've heard and seen makes it look really bad. But let me tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess before you get started, I see we can say all we want about Santa being creepy.
Yeah.
Because he is kind of creepy. Yeah. But like as a horror figure, he just doesn't really hit. He's just a jolly old guy.
There's others. Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, when you have a Krampus or like those other kind of scarier Christmas figures.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're really going to spend time with Santa? Like, just the imagery of Santa killing somebody. I'm kind of like, that doesn't do much for me.
That actually makes me think of another movie, but hold on. So Santa's Sleigh is from 2005. So it stars a professional wrestler as Santa.
Well, there we go.
Bill Goldberg, who I don't know who that is.
I don't know him.
So in this movie, which again I have not seen, Santa is reimagined as basically Santa, the guy Santa, is a demon who lost a bet to an angel.
Oh,
and is a part of losing that bet has to spend 1,000 years as Santa delivering gifts to children instead of killing them.
Punishment or repentance, like it's literally that.
Yeah. That Santa is actually, like, we've created this more whitewashed understanding of Santa, but Santa is actually, like, has a past. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
And that kind of works with, like, you know, what I talk about in our Black Christmas episode of, like, the Wild Hunt being one of the origins for Santa as we know him now. Like, there is kind of a darker past there.
Yeah. So then there's two movies came out in 2010. One is Dutch and one is Finnish. So we're kind of, again, getting like the Northern European take on Santa's. So this one I haven't seen. It's just called Saint, or it's Dutch. So in Dutch it would be Sint. Sint.
Sinterklaas.
Yes. And so that is about Saint Nick. But Saint Nick is portrayed as a disgraced, murderous bishop. Like he's an ex-bishop. Like he got kicked out of the church.
This is what I'm talking about.
With a gang of helpers, of course.
Yes.
To help him wreak havoc. And so the the idea is that when his feast day, the 6th, coincides with the full moon.
Oh, God.
He, like, rises. His, like, spirit rises and, like, wreaks havoc and, like, kills a bunch of people.
I love that.
I haven't seen it. It sounds amazing.
Honestly, big fan.
We'll be watching it this holiday season for sure.
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah. So that's a great, like, Santa is scary.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And then
that one works for me.
another great one that I actually just rewatched yesterday, but I had seen it before and it's so good. It's called Rare Exports. It's a 2010 Finnish film where it's again, we get lore, that indigenous we think they're called the Sami people.
Yes, yeah,
in Sweden and Finland.
Yeah.
The idea is that the Sami people found like an evil, basically Santa, and like through their ritual pagan magic captured Santa in a mountain in ice that then became a mountain.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lore of like, that's why that mountain's there, because Santa is stuck in ice in it, right?
Yeah.
But of course they don't know that until, of course, they're doing some like mining project and start disturbing the mountain and Santa unthaws.
So on the one hand, we're like, yes, these native peoples were right. On the other hand, we're like, we're going to exoticize them and talk about all their dark magics that they use. It's such a classic. Like,
they do kind of just like, they talk about that and then they don't really come back to it. That's just sort of like why Santa's there. But, so here's the thing. It's not actually Santa. It is, they are Santa's helpers who just so happen to have the features of what we understand Santa to look like. So an old man with a white beard.
Yeah.
And there's actually, we find out that there are many of them. And like they're just frozen in the tundra, chilling in the woods, just like Santa's helper elves, if you will.
Yeah.
But they are what we understand Santa to look like. And Santa, the man, is still frozen in the ice, and we do get like a look. And so of course, like all of Santa's helpers are just regular dudes, right? But Santa is like, we don't get to see the whole thing because they're still like frozen in ice, but it's massive. And all we really see are like huge spiraling, like
horns,
ram horns.
Oh, very Woden.
And Krampus too.
Well, Krampus and Woden and all of that, yeah.
And so, but like that's kind of it. They just sort of tease it. That like that's Santa, and he's like the main dude. So like we got to make sure he stays frozen.
Yeah.
But then they basically like make it a business where they spend all year training these Santas because they're like they've been frozen for a long time. They don't fully understand the world they live in now.
Yeah.
And they like it's like kind of end of credits thing where they spend the whole next year training these Santas.
Oh God.
And then like send them like to the world to be like, here's your own actual Santa.
Your own actual man.
It's pretty funny. And then there's one other one that came out in 2015 called A Christmas Horror Story. It's an anthology.
Weak.
What?
Weak.
Very
naming.
weak, yeah. And it's okay. I've seen it a couple of times. It's okay. Where it's an anthology, and so like there's many Christmas related stories happening at once, but including an actual Santa Claus who has to fight off his own elves that have become zombified.
Oh no!
He has to fight off his zombie elves. I know it's really sad. And he does indeed at the end, at the climax of the film, come up against Krampus. And they have like a big fight, you know?
Yeah.
So
why can't they just get along?
So he's really more of like he's not necessarily evil, but he's been thrust into violence, as, you know, as a result of
more close stuff. To our Santa.
Yeah, right. And so, I was thinking about that. I was like, but there's just not really a lot of movies where there is like actually Santa.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, one of the reasons why I do really like this movie, even if the Santa lore is a little thin.
Yeah. No, he's a great Santa too. Actually,
yes.
I don't think we took the chance or the time to say
no.
Like David Harbour does great as Santa.
Yeah.
Great character.
And like also a great casting idea. Whoever decided like, hey, we should call David Harbour, that was a really good idea.
Perfect as a sort of jaded Santa.
Yep. And just like the way that he, like the affect is really good, and the way that like he kind of sneaks in the ho-ho-hos, like not in like a super forced way.
Yeah, when he's like, holy shit.
He's just like giggling. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's believable as somebody who maybe was a fighter, but is now not in his prime, you know? Like he gives that very well. So for a game this month, when we were watching, really delighted in the naughty and nice list that
Yeah,
we
we
saw.
paused it. Yeah.
Like we said, Trudy had the one about inviting the weird kid to her party.
Yes, yeah.
And then just things about did her chores, listened to her parents.
Kind to animals.
Great things.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Scrooge, we see his naughty list. The one that stood out to me was that he killed his best friend. And they just don't elaborate.
They don't elaborate
He just
on
killed
that.
his best friend. Don't worry about it. Who was his best friend? We don't know.
No, but he killed that
He
that
had
person.
a best friend and they're dead now.
Yeah.
So just as a sort of game-ish thing,
Mm-hmm.
we were gonna say what would be on our own naughty or nice, list.
Yeah, and you came up with a really good idea because it's true. It's like if we were to talk about what we would be on the nice list for, it might come across as a little bit conceited. So you had a great idea of we'll say what each other would be on the nice list for, and then what we would be on the naughty list for ourselves.
And do we want to start naughty or nice?
Ooh. That's a great question. At first I wanted to start nice, but now I think I want to start naughty.
I think I want to start naughty.
Okay, that's good. Do you want to start with your naughty
Yeah.
list? Why would you be on the naughty list?
Okay.
If Santa were to open his magical scroll.
Yeah. I think it would say, I came up with 3 things
Okay.
that are pretty naughty of me.
Okay.
Chases cats for fun. Never arrives to events on time.
Tardy. Yeah.
And unsympathetic when she sees a child crying. That one's pretty naughty.
That's so funny.
That's pretty naughty.
yeah.
What'd you get?
I've been there though. I've definitely watched kids cry and been
This is a you problem. I don't know what to say here.
Yeah, actually, it's very similar. I think I would be on the naughty list because this year I 100% have yelled at children.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to yell at children, but I did.
Yeah, it happens in our line of work.
And I was also thinking that I might end up on the naughty list for not keeping the cat boxes clean enough.
Oh, yeah.
I should probably clean the cat boxes more than I do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I only had 2. What else would I be on the naughty list for?
You gotta go in 3s. Roll of 3s.
I know, you're right.
Wow, pretty conceited.
I know. Yeah, I'm just I never do anything wrong.
Wow.
Oh, how about this one?
Yeah.
I'm condescending to admin during meetings.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want the nice list I came up with for you?
I would love it. Tell me
Okay.
why I'm actually not on the naughty list.
I mean,
I'm
number
actually on the
one,
nice
teaches
list.
the children.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Makes people laugh.
Yeah.
Volunteers at an animal shelter.
I do volunteer at an animal shelter.
Befriended the shy kid.
I sure did. I love the shy kids.
Yeah.
You know, you've known me for so long. You know, all my friends were the shy kids.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that's yeah. That's
kind of
very
that version of
Trudy's. Yeah.
inviting the weird kid to the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is that your very first thing on your naughty list was chases cats for fun, which is funny because the very first thing I put on your nice list is that you are kind to animals.
It's enrichment for the cats.
It is. I think they love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I just need to revise this. You're very kind to dogs.
Yes.
You're very kind
I
to
am
dogs.
very kind to all dogs.
Yes.
I will mess with a cat.
Yes. I think they love it. I think
they do.
You also teach, but you specifically teach middle school math.
Yeah.
That's so many no's for me.
Though, as we were talking about earlier this very day,
Yeah.
you teach health.
I do
which
teach
is
health.
a no for so many people.
And so many people, and I love it. I just, it's my bread and butter. Just eat up, eat up, eat up.
Sex ed.
And also, really, the top thing that puts you on the nice list is that you edit and release all of our episodes.
Honestly?
You do.
Honestly.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very kind of me.
Yes, it's a labor of love.
It is a labor of love.
We don't make any money from this podcast.
Well, there's your nice list. You are our funding.
That's true. I pay the $5.99 a month or whatever it is.
And I put in the hours.
Yes. I love it. And that's
why we work together.
That's
so well.
why we make such a lovely team.
So this has been Deep Thoughts Shallow Plots.
So as we have done since our podcast has been around, we're taking January off.
Yeah.
So
that's
everybody
what we do.
have a great January. We'll be back in
January's just too hard, man.
It's a terrible month. Yeah. Sorry for anybody who loves January. Whatever.
If
Anyway.
those people exist.
Yeah. But I guess people who were born in January.
Maybe.
I don't know. So But then we'll be back in February with Let the Right One In, the Swedish version.
Yes.
Which right now, I've actually never seen it. Have you
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so neither of us have seen it.
But we've had it recommended by many people.
Yeah, we're excited because we both want to get back to the vampire idea, and it's also not in English, so we've got a couple of good things going for us. We're excited.
With the Norse.
We really are, yeah.
So there
and
you
like the cold and darkness of winter, so it's on theme. We plan it out.
Sometimes we plan it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, we always plan it out, but it's just not always that plan works.
Yes.
Or like we planned it out, and then after we've already executed the plan, been like, actually would have been better
if we had
to do the plan that way.
Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Thanks to Sound Guy Matt.
Always.
On our nice list every day of the year.
Every day of the year. For setting up the tech.
Yeah.
Yep. And then walking away.
Yep. Having his beer and leaving.
Yep.
That's all he gets paid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at Deep Thought Shallow Plots. All one word.
Yep. Follow us on YouTube.
That's right. Yep.
Hit that subscribe.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, that's some pre-war shit.